Hey yo, this guy. Wait.
It's like the blooper reel.
What did I? All right, well we ain't starting over this time.
Nah,
Hey yo, this
leave it
is Dillon and Nick with the wrestling version of the You Don't Know That podcast, also known as You Don't Know Wrestling,
Ooh.
where we also talk about
Yeah, I like that. You don't know wrestling.
You Don't Know Wrestling. Because we
You know
clearly
what?
listen.
You
Nobody
know,
knows wrestling.
You know what?
According to everyone on the internet.
There you go. Everybody's an idiot on the.
Everyone's an idiot and everyone's an expert.
And I really don't know wrestling like I think I do.
I know enough to know that I don't know anything about what I know. And you can't tell me different.
I have no idea what you just said. All right.
So
this is our wrestling podcast.
It's the wrestling version.
All things wrestling. WWE,
AEW, Impact,
New Japan.
New Japan. You know, if we catch it somehow. Ring of Honor, if we catch it somehow.
Yeah, neither one of us are that good. We don't really.
We can't. Listen,
we don't do the.
There's only 5 weeks. There's only 7 days out of the week, and 5 of them all have wrestling on it, in varying times.
That's and I have a full-time job.
Yeah, I should also mention, if you didn't listen to our original, our normal podcast that's not wrestling, we didn't add that into it, but Nick has an actual job. I'm over here, quote unquote, self-employed.
I like that.
I'm self-employed, so I have more time to actually watch wrestling, and even I can't catch all of it. It's a lot.
So the schedule is what?
Monday Night Raw is 5 through 8.
Tuesday. Oh yeah, so
5 through 8.
Monday Night Raw.
I think it's what, West Coast.
Yeah.
It's 5 through 8. East Coast is
well,
8.
The East Coast is 5 through 8.
Okay, but I think they also have like on other time zones it's 8 through 11.
Actually, on the East Coast it's 8 to 11.
8 to 11.
We get it 5 to 8.
Tuesday is NXT.
Okay.
Which is.
I have no idea what time.
I just watched it on Hulu.
Right.
So
at some point on Tuesday
at some
night,
point, like at 6 or 7 o'clock in the night, NXT. Wednesday, you know what that is. You know what that means.
AEW. Wednesday nights.
Which is I think 5 through 7. I believe.
I have no idea.
Wednesday on TNT.
Uh-huh.
Thursday is Impact on Access, and I usually catch it 8 through 10.
Okay.
Because they play it, I think it's 6 through 8, and then they do it again at 8 through 10.
Okay.
So I catch the 8 through 10 version.
And then
Friday is WWE SmackDown at 8 through 10.
8 to 10.
So
and it's somewhere in there also Ring of
Honor and New Japan.
New Japan also are doing stuff.
Are just.
And I can't.
There's too much.
I don't even think.
And the thing is, our wrestler, the people that we like, who we know a bit of, are all spread it out across that whole week.
So there's a reason to watch
every single one. We gotta catch up some of. So before we get into that, I don't know if we introduced ourselves. I'm Dillon. That's Nick. You said you wanted to start with your top 5.
Yes.
Your top 5 favorites.
This is a good icebreaker for if anybody who's a wrestling fan. Not even like 5%.
Like
you're you know a little bit about wrestling.
Right?
Everything you know about somebody is through their top 5. And this is probably true for
movies.
Wrestlers, movies. Actually, very you ask somebody, hey, top 5 favorite movies, everything you know about that person.
If somebody says Twilight, that's gonna curb the whole rest.
Everything you need to know about that person.
Hey, listen, all right.
Twilight 1 through 5. I don't know how many Twilights there are, but okay.
Hey, don't ask me. I thought there was only 1.
Oh, there's way more than 1. I don't know how many there is, but there's more than 1 for sure. There's at least 3.
And that dude's about to be Batman.
All
right, but let's not divulge from the course.
Okay, so I would give my top 5, so everybody get a pretty decent idea of who I am, and probably even how old I am. So we're gonna go. I don't know if I can rank everybody, but I know for sure my number 1, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah,
that is my guy since day 1. My number 1. I was gonna say he always stayed my number 1, but when he went to WCW,
he got that concussion.
I kind kind of jumped off the bandwagon a little bit when he went to WCW. That was rough. I was very WWE loyal.
Oh, of course.
So when he went to WCW, I was like, I don't really want to watch him at WCW.
I'll say this: the first time I ever saw him was the Montreal Screwjob. I thought he was the coolest guy ever. Yo, this man's tearing up the production equipment. Let's go. I like this guy.
And then that was his last day of work. That was his last day of work.
Yep.
But then he did come back in WWE, and he was the United States champion. Do you not remember that?
When was? Okay, hold on, no. Wait, finish your top 5.
Okay.
That's a what?
Okay, I will find the info for that.
Okay.
Bret Hart came back and wrestled, and he was doing stuff.
Oh.
It was very much like Jordan coming back for the Washington Wizards. It was forgettable. It was people talk about Bret Hart WWE. They tend to not mention that. Okay, 2 through 5, unranked. Shawn Michaels. And I'm not gonna go through a whole big thing of Shawn Michaels, but
oh yeah,
arguably
you literally just said Bret Hart and now Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, arguably maybe one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect is in my top 5.
Okay.
I don't know because really, Mr. Perfect was actually kind of my favorite wrestler. Right there with Bret Hart, he just didn't get the same push.
Of course, yeah.
But talent wise, and his gimmick
was good.
I loved it. I started flipping stuff behind my back.
Right.
Just because of
this
him.
man's flipping tiles behind his back.
I started flipping tiles behind my back.
Oh,
and I got really
shooting
good
like
at
a half-court shot and making it.
I was doing all that. I would go to school the next day just throwing ball. And of course, you miss it all.
Oh, of course.
And you throw the ball well over the backboard.
Right.
And you got to go run and get it. Nobody talks about that part.
Right. And his theme song was good, too.
He had a great theme
song.
So
it was solid all the way through.
Yeah.
And his finisher was good. The perfect plex. It was pretty good.
If we went through top 5 favorite finishers,
there ain't enough time in the day.
I probably got to do that one.
Yeah, that one's up there. And it's so weird that no one does it.
Curtis Axel was doing it for a little bit.
Oh, of course, yeah.
No, he didn't do it. He did a version of it. It was like a release.
Right. He didn't do like the actual hold.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just an exploder. Really.
That's right. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Sorry, Curtis. Let's see. I said Bret. I said Shawn. Mr. Perfect. Number 4, Triple H.
Yeah.
Because when
you were a big Triple H guy.
If I'm really big, Triple H should be my number 1 because I spent more years as a Triple H fan than anybody else. Because Bret was like late 80s till about 97. So that's about maybe 8-9 years.
That makes sense because when I started watching wrestling, which was right around that time, you were super into Triple H.
Yeah. So when I became a Triple H fan, when DX started, because I didn't like Hunter Hearst.
You weren't a Hunter Hearst Helmsley guy?
Yeah, let me just
yeah, which version of Triple H we talking
here? I did not like Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Oh.
I like Triple H.
You didn't like the pose?
No. I wasn't feeling the music, the ring gear, the pose. China gave him a little bit more of an edge, but
we could argue China was the best part of him.
You know what? China.
You look back on
Hunter Hearst Helmsley character. China was the best part.
Yep, she was cool.
Once they became officially DX. Actually, when Shawn Michaels, the night after WrestleMania 13, when Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold fought for the title, and Shawn Michaels retired because he was wrestling through a back injury.
Right.
The next night on Raw, Triple H took over as the leader of DX, brought out X-Pac. The New Age Outlaws officially joined DX, and they went from a 2-man group to a 5-person group.
Yeah.
That was when I really became a Triple H fan. That went from 98 until 2005. And yeah, I would say I didn't really jump off the Triple H bandwagon until
The Authority.
Actually, I jumped off Triple H bandwagon when he reformed DX.
Oh.
That's when I was like, okay,
against the Spirit Squad and them.
Yeah, that's like, all right, we've jumped the shark. I'm done. So that was
a good chunk.
That's a pretty good.
That's about almost a decade.
Yeah. So over a decade, no?
You said 97 to.
Yeah, it's about 97 to
2005 sounds right. That sounds
okay. So
5,
so
6.
maybe about the same time I was a Bret Hart fan, but I was pretty in with
Triple H. Yeah.
So and then my number 5, we've mentioned in other podcasts. When you're making a top 5, those 4 you can have pretty locked in. That 5th is always kind of hard to fill that seat because there's so many people that you can get in there.
Right.
Edge is kind of that in that number 5 spot. Eddie Guerrero is kind of in that number 5 spot.
That's a good point.
Undertaker. I was just about to say the Undertaker. I was a pretty big Undertaker
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan is not in my top 5 for sure.
Really?
He may be top
10.
If I really wanted to be diplomatic, I probably could say Hulk Hogan. Because Hulk Hogan is the reason I started watching wrestling.
I mean,
in the mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
And I was a huge Hulk Hogan fan until I found out about Bret Hart, and then I completely threw Hulk Hogan to the side.
Until you found out about what was that WrestleMania where Hulk Hogan just showed up?
9. The infamous WrestleMania. If you are a Bret Hart fan, WrestleMania 9 is the bane of your fandom. Because that was the day you would just, like, even as a kid, I didn't really know what was going on in wrestling. Hulk Hogan, Hulk Hogan's here. He fought earlier. Why is he back?
Now he's champion. He wrestled for 5 minutes?
Why is he, he's checking on Bret Hart. Cool. Wait, why is he fighting Yokozuna for the time? Yokozuna just cheated. Why he gonna have another match against Hulk? Why is the match over in 3 seconds? What just happened? What just happened? So that was a rough day for Bret Hart fans. And then you find out the behind the scenes stuff. You find out that there was a lot of politicking going on.
And you watched the Yokozuna documentary,
which I actually haven't seen all the way through.
I haven't either.
I've been meaning to go back and watch that.
Especially when Roman Reigns was like, "Here comes Hulk Hogan." Oh, here he comes. It's like,
yeah, that's a pretty infamous part of WrestleMania history, wrestling history.
Yeah.
But Hulk Hogan did get me into. Hulk Hogan's the reason why I'm kind of into wrestling.
Yeah.
I showed up for Hulk Hogan, but I stayed for everybody.
For everyone else.
Now we talk about match quality. There's definitely people you can choose. I don't know. I guess if I really had to lock in a number 5 right here, right now, I would probably say Edge.
Yeah.
Is my number 5.
Yeah.
Or he's in my 5.
Right.
I don't think I could. Actually, no. I probably would put him at number 5.
Yeah.
And that's because his stuff as a singles competitor and stuff he did with
Christian, yeah.
Like all of that, and even the
Rated
tag teams,
Rated RKO,
Rated RKO, and
Ray Mysterio.
Ray Mysterio tag team. He has some, and he was a tag team champion with Hulk Hogan too.
He sure was.
Hulk Hogan he made sure he had a piece of every pie. He would not be denied these,
of course,
these paychecks.
Well, I guess
let's go, Dillon.
For me, all right, I'm gonna say my number 1 for last because I know who my number 1 is with utmost certainty.
Okay.
But 2 to 5, I would say Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
The Rock.
Oh my God! I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I might have to rethink some things. Okay.
The Rock.
Okay.
And I know this is going to catch people. Roman Reigns.
Top 5.
Top 5.
Okay.
I'll probably put Roman Reigns at number 5 though.
You have always been pretty big with The Rock. Yeah. Well, I mean with Roman Reigns. Sorry. Yeah.
When Roman Reigns first showed up with the Shield, and you and me both saw him, I'm like, that's the one. That's him.
Yeah.
That's the Vince guy.
Yeah.
You can look at him, you can see it.
Even if you wasn't reading rumors online, you knew that Roman had it.
He had the spear. He had the mean mug. He couldn't really talk well, so all you had was believe that. Oh, that's the guy. You know that's the guy. If you watch wrestling for any amount of time,
that's the formula.
That's all you need.
A catchphrase,
if you big,
and
you
muscles.
Can, right.
It's and a very simple finish.
Right. Hey, but it was sick when he did it though. Yeah. Especially when first off, okay, I know the top 5. Honorable mentions Dolph Ziggler for sure.
Oh, he's not in your top.
He's not
5.
my top 5. He's like right there though. Like you said,
you are a big Dolph Ziggler
I'm a
fan.
big. Look, the cash in that shocked the world, not shocked the world, but rocked the world. Oh,
I still say that is the greatest.
The best cash in of all time.
I'll put that above Seth Rollins cash in.
Everyone was ready to cash in. Biggie's a million bank holder now, but he was ready to cash in on that night. AJ was also ready to cash in.
We talked about this. My favorite part is when they walk out.
Oh,
the way Dolph Ziggler walks out there with his briefcase and AJ Lee and Biggie Langston is following behind him. They all 3 was ready to cash in.
All of them was about to jump on Alberto Del Rio. All of them.
Everybody became champion.
Oh my goodness gracious! It was.
That is
and the thing is,
part.
he was also like really. He also sold really well.
Yeah.
Like if you did a finisher to Dolph, that man was dead for 5 seconds.
One of the best sellers ever.
He had it, man.
He's Shawn Michaels status with the selling.
And he just couldn't. They wouldn't throw that man a bone if he was.
He got one concussion. He never got another push.
He never got anywhere near.
Not a main event.
And it wasn't even like his fault. He just got kicked in the head.
It happens. It was a mistake. It was an accident. He got kicked in the face.
Meanwhile, the person who kicked him in the head kept getting world title opportunities.
Yeah, it's WWE booking.
Yeah, but I would say honorable mention Dolph Ziggler, and for your same reason for Hulk Hogan, I would have to go John Cena.
Yeah,
because John Cena, he brought me in because he was like the rebel because Dr. Thugonomics. He had the FU, the STFU. He had the chain gang. He got stabbed apparently. I didn't know how that happened. Five knuckle shuffle. He was pumping his kicks. I can't tell you how much I like the pump when he pumped his kicks. I'm like, oh shoot, he's about to. Oh, it's over. He pumped the kicks. It's over.
He is very Hulk Hogan like in a number of ways.
Oh.
Hulk Hogan for a very long time was the king of I'm gonna do the dumbest things I can, and it's gonna get over.
Everyone's just gonna flip out.
And then John Cena shows up and just took the crown. He
you
was like,
can't
I'm
see.
Pump
this
up
man
my
literally
shoes.
just did the "you can't see
you
me."
Can't stand. He stole
and
from Tony.
Everyone freaked out.
Everybody just loved it. They put it on T-shirts. T-shirts is flying off the shelves.
This man had not just one, but 2 different championship belts that spinned.
So dumb.
Oh, I hated
2 of the
now,
ugliest belts of all time.
Yeah, of those belts, the United States title and the WWE title. As a child, I thought those were the sickest looking belts I ever seen.
You are not alone because I think those belts also were flying off the shelf.
Oh yeah, especially the U.S. one where it had, instead of just calling it the United States Championship, and it was super generic. It actually had U.S. like in gold or something, and it spun around. Like, oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. And even the WWE one where the WW was like spinning, I was like, oh, that's kind of neat.
Everybody. And then what I really didn't like was then when Edge won the belt from him, his logo spun.
Yeah, he had the one that spun.
Sense.
And everyone who kept getting that title just kept that title. So you have Randy Orton who's super serious and crazy, and he's got this spinning WWE championship. They never changed it.
It made sense for John Cena and his character.
Right. I mean, even though, as he got older, as he himself, as the character matured, it really started to make less sense. But it was still John Cena's belt. It made sense.
It was John Cena's
belt. But
belt.
then they didn't change it until The Rock came in.
I remember thinking, oh, they're going to change the belt every time somebody
wins it.
No. It was like the Undertaker.
No, Randy Orton, you got to hold that.
Yeah, you got to walk around with the spinning championship belt.
Undertaker, you got to hold that. I know it looks nothing like what you would wear, but you got to hold that. It's too much money to change it every single time. So they didn't change it until The Rock came back, and then who'd he beat? I think he beat John Cena, and then he changed it.
That's it. That was it. Yeah.
To what we kind of see it as now.
So much longer. Yeah. They took the spinning part out, didn't they?
Yeah, I think eventually they stopped spinning.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it still had that design. And then The Rock changed.
It was super gaudy too.
Yeah. Oh, we should also mention that our co-host from the last episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Dog from Down the Street.
Dog from Down the Street is also here.
I think he's a big John Cena fan. Ain't that right, Dog from Down the Street?
Cena sucks.
Cena sucks.
He's a junkyard dog fan.
Oh, you know what?
There it is.
There you go.
Right on cue.
We got you, Dog from Down the Street. Our bad.
JYD.
That's all right. All right. So I said my honorable mentions 2 to 5. My absolute number 1 favorite wrestler of all time. CM Punk.
Oh, I don't know why I didn't see that coming.
Of all time,
you
I
are a
have to
big
give it to
CM
CM
fan.
Punk.
You are a big CM Punk.
And the thing was, okay, so here's the weird thing about CM Punk for me. So you said that you fell off of Triple H on the DX when they came back against the Spirit Squad.
Yeah.
I remember when that happened, and I would always hear about it because cable was a thing, and it still is. But back when it was like you kind of had to be somewhat rich to have cable. But SmackDown was still on Channel 13. It was still on local television.
Right.
So I could watch SmackDown, but I couldn't watch Raw. And every SmackDown they would do.
True for a lot of people.
Yeah, they would do the Raw. Yeah. They would do the Raw rewind, and they would show you like the most integral parts of Raw. Right. I would see Shawn Michaels and Triple H hanging out. They brought DX back, and I'm like, oh shoot, I want to see what's going on. So I missed all of that. That whole reunion of DX all the way until when Triple H burst his quad out or something.
Oh, which time?
Whenever, like when Triple H had to, go in surgery and then Shawn Michaels was on his own.
Yeah.
Still in DX, by the way.
Okay, yeah, I know. I actually do know which time that was. I think that was like the second time.
Yeah, so that was like way. That's when I finally like caught wind of DX being back. But I bring that up to say, I had eventually got the DVD set that was that whole reunion of DX. And they're all talking. You have Vince and Shane and all them talking about that whole comeback tour. And the last match that you can watch on that DVD set is, I don't know which Survivor Series it is, but Survivor Series where it's Gregory Helms, which for those who don't know is the Hurricane. Didn't know that at the time when I saw that DVD.
You know the Hurricane?
At that time, I didn't know. I didn't know until I saw his look. I was like, he looks a little bit like the Hurricane. Also, honorable mention, the Hurricane in my honorable mentions. Don't you say nothing. Don't you say nothing. That man is a treasure.
All right. I had a lot to say, but I was being respectful.
So Gregory Helms, Mike Knox, Johnny Nitro. Good God. As people who don't know, that's John Morrison. Johnny Drip Drip.
What is this team? What's his other nickname? Something Moist?
America's Moist Wanted.
America's Moist Wanted. Yeah, don't forget that.
And then Rated RKO. That was the villain team. And then you had DX. Team Extreme, which was the Hardy Boys, and CM Punk.
I remember.
And they were in Chicago, and they were chanting CM Punk like crazy.
Yeah.
And then he did and then Triple H gave him the mic, and he was the one who said, "Chicago, are you ready?" And they were flipping out for him, like, "Oh man, CM Punk's kind of cool." Yeah. And so that was my first time I ever saw him. And so when I see him and I see this ring gear, I was like, his ring gear is kind of cool. He's got the bandages on, which I like. He's got the X on it. He's got some tats on. He's got some piercings. All right, he's kind of cool. Yep. And, I see his moveset. He's got kicks. He's got the running knee into the corner. Yep. The Anaconda Vice, which I thought was a really cool submission move. GTS. I was like, okay, this guy's cool. Fast forward, I think he gets picked up from SmackDown. He's got the same moveset. He's got the same song. I think he turned the Go to Sleep into his finisher.
And he had a very good song. Good theme song.
Really good theme song.
This Fire?
Yeah, This Fire Burns.
That was a great song.
Oh, top 5.
We gotta do that one too at some point. Top 5
at some point.
Entrance themes.
But yeah. And I saw that, and then eventually he got the Money in the Bank, and he became like a world champion. I was like, okay, I still like this guy. I'm still into it. And then eventually, fast forward, he becomes a heel. He heel turns and becomes the Straight Edge Society with Luke Gallows, who everyone knows as like the guy in the Good Brothers. I know him as Festus.
Festus, baby.
Let's not forget that man was Festus.
Ding, ding.
Ding, ding, your life is over. When the bell rung, your life was done. That man didn't stop until you lost.
Oh, man.
And then Serena, who at the time I didn't know, was like a wrestler in her own right. Yeah. But I assumed she was just someone from the crowd who they probably just like, maybe it was like CM Punk's friend or something.
She was a plant.
But she was a plant.
She was legit.
And Homeboy's old teammate, Johnny Nitro's old teammate, Joey Mercury, after his face explosion. That man, that's so unfortunate for that man. I hope I will never live. Oh, that was such a messed up thing that happened to him. But yeah, and I was like, oh man, I'm really digging this straight. It's just like because for those of you who don't know,
I always forget about that. Joey Mercury was in there.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I went to a Adventist school for pretty much my whole life. From kindergarten to high school, K through 12. And you have a gimmick that's like, hey, raise your hand to me. I'm the true, savior of everyone. And it's hitting that sort of gospel vibe, and it's like, oh, I don't know if I like this. It makes me kind of
It's kind of a little blasphemous.
Yeah, it's too close.
Yeah,
it's too close. What I've been raised on, and it's like, oh, this is good. I hate it. I like how much I hate it. It's like it makes me uncomfortable.
That's a good heel move,
right? And so eventually, then he went on to commentary. I think he got hurt or something.
Yeah.
And then he had the diet soda, and John kept spilling his diet soda. I'm like, dude, this dude's even funny on commentary. I like this guy. I really do like this guy. And then later he became the leader of the Nexus, which I don't remember if I liked it or not. I think I liked it because I liked his.
I think that was kind of when the Nexus. I know a lot of people talk about John Cena killing the Nexus at Survivor Series, but I think that's when the Nexus really was dead. Was when they tried to put CM Punk in there.
Well, I mean, he tried to save it.
He tried to save it.
Yeah.
And got himself over.
Yeah, because that led into the infamous and the most what he's the most known for is the pipe bomb, which to this day is one of my favorite moments because I actually got to see it, and this was back when DVR wasn't nearly as good as it is now. Mm-hmm. So I actually because Raw sometimes goes over its limit, so when he sat down and he started airing his grievances, which at the time I thought were real, I think they technically were real, but I thought he actually was just out there on the mic for free. No one was watching him.
It since then has been described more as a work shoot.
Right. I think it was Michael Hayes who was like, hey, just go out there and just, just trash talk.
They knew he was going to say some stuff.
Right. And then they would cut it when they feel like he went too far.
Supposedly they only cut it because they ran out of time.
Right.
But
when he was getting into that Be a Star campaign, all of a sudden it's like,
we cut the mic.
Yeah, we can't let we can't talk about Vince like that. We got money, we can't mess with our money.
Yeah, that was one place to cut the mic.
But yeah, he did that, and then it cut off at that point on the DVR for me. Oh, that was weird. He called for the DVR for me. And so I was like, oh man, that's crazy. Oh man, this guy really likes CM Punk. I'm still he's every big thing that he goes through, I'm like, he grows more and more in my eyes and in my mind. I'm like, dude, this guy is really cool. I like him. And it was, I think for me it was that Raw before that Money in the Bank match with John Cena, where those two had sat down at the table and he was talking about how some of his friends and some of his fellow wrestlers were always trying to work hard, but they always got the, hey, best of luck in your future endeavors. Yeah. And I was like, man, he's really talking straight up. And then it went off to John Cena. And then this is probably my favorite part about John Cena, where he was like, I could do all this stuff that the fans don't like. I could, be more, work harder. I could be more of a full-time wrestler. I could add to the 5 moves of doom. I could do all this stuff, but then I'll never win over the people that like you, because that's not who I am. Yeah. So instead of doing the stuff that you do and trying to imitate you, I'm just gonna do what I'm good at and keep my fans.
That is a very good argument.
It really is. It made me dude, John Cena's good. Because that's legit.
John Cena is extremely over and underrated at the
exact same time. It's so weird. He's the most hardest person to cheer for, the fun to hate, but I like him.
He's
weird.
Actually a good wrestler.
He's a good wrestler.
I mean,
but you never really see it because he's always in matches where it's I gotta beat you up in 5 minutes. If you look at him,
he gets time to when he has those 20-minute matches.
Yeah,
they tend to be very good.
Right. If you watch I pour one out for Damien Sandow. When he cashed in on John Cena when he had one arm, and it was just dude, what the heck is happening here? It just makes you go, I hate John Cena. This guy sucks.
And that's not even him. That's the book.
That's just how it is, man. You gotta let Damien Sandow get killed. But then you watch this match versus CM Punk. You watch his matches versus Randy Orton versus The Rock, even.
And you bring up the Randy Orton match. He fights Randy Orton a lot.
Those two,
so tired of it. But there's a reason why they fight
because they're so good at each other. The chemistry works. Speaking of which, no one ever talks about how much The Rock and Stone Cold fought each other. But that was just back in the day.
Yeah.
That was just like, hey, come on.
Yeah.
That's all we got. It's our two big guys.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's the money.
So that really elevated both CM Punk and John Cena for me. And then, you hear about CM Punk wasn't even on contract until like that day of that pay per view.
Yeah. He literally signed.
He literally signed it that day. And I was like, oh, dude, this guy is. Oh. And then later, when he feuded with Chris Jericho, he was feuding with Daniel Bryan, and they were doing the best in the beard. And even when he, he looked like he ain't got no sleep forever. As I always say, you look at his eyes, and he ain't slept in like 3 years.
He got, the more demand he was.
Yeah.
The more demanding he got.
Yeah. And so eventually, when he just like peaced out, I was like, yeah. And then that whole thing, I think it was on Colt Cabana's podcast.
Yeah.
Where like he was like, this is what happened. This is why I left. I'm like, this is my favorite wrestler of all time.
I am not mad with anything you just said.
Because
anybody says that CM Punk is their favorite of all time, it's justified. He deserves it.
He does.
He's very good. He is extremely good. I'm not gonna say very good.
Yeah,
he's extremely good. Everything he does. Now,
right.
He's maybe not the greatest wrestler of all time. He's not the greatest mic worker of all time. He probably doesn't have the greatest gimmick of all time.
No, he's just
you
the
can
best.
find somebody who is number one in all of those, but he is so consistent. He checks so many boxes,
right?
And he pulls it all together. And the charisma,
yeah, his charisma is really good.
Is top notch. So it all just comes together in a really, really good way.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap this up because we're already 31 minutes in.
Dang, all we did was talk about our.
I know we have a whole lot more stuff to go through.
Well, I mean, we can still. Well, let's just quickly talk about. I don't know.
Well, hang on. Before we get there, I need to go back to top 5 because I forgot about some people, and now I gotta redo my whole top 5.
Oh wait.
So Bret Hart is still my number 1. I'm gonna take Mr. Perfect and Edge, with all due respect, out of my top 5, and I'll move them to the honorable mentions because I forgot about Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah,
that was absolutely
that man beat up Booker T in a supermarket.
I mean, how did that?
I mean, come on,
legend status.
Damn, I forgot about Booker T.
Oh yeah, you're a Booker T.
Yeah, that's my boy, man.
I gotta also put in AJ Styles.
How did we forget AJ
I forgot
Styles?
about AJ because I kept thinking.
How did we forget Fortune? The best faction of all time.
I'm not the Fortune fan that you are. All I'm gonna say is, but I do remember. I kept thinking there was somebody who wasn't always in WWE, who's in my top 5. AJ Styles.
AJ Styles, yeah.
I was an AJ Styles fan in TNA.
Yep.
And New Japan, WWE, he never left my top 5. He's in this really weird gimmick now with promos that I'm not really into, but he's still my top 5. He's still the greatest.
He's so good.
He's so good. If I really was gonna rank him, he'd probably be like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
He's very high up on my list.
Dang.
So sorry, Edge.
Sorry, Mr. Perfect.
Sorry, Mr. Perfect. Y'all gonna go to the. I mean, still top 10.
Right.
But just not top 5. Okay. So I had to get that. I had to get that
right,
straight
right.
Before the battery died. Before we close this out.
Oh, shoot, the battery.
Yeah, I'm kind of low on battery.
All right. Well, that's just like quick fire. Releases. My boy Bronson got released. How could you? Bronson Reed. What was it? Mercedes Martinez got kicked. Leo
Bobby Fish. And Leon Rush.
Leon Rush. Among others, but those are the ones we can think of. All for Brock Lesnar to come and have one match.
They gotta free up some money.
Oh, I'm so. People are gonna be pissed. People are gonna be pissed. As soon as he shows up.
The Mercedes Martinez, I think we talked about this just between us. We said I wouldn't be surprised if she probably asked for her release.
Yeah. After that whole retribution thing that she didn't want to be a part
of.
She
didn't want to be a part of that. There probably was more stuff coming up.
I mean, kudos to her because nobody in retribution.
And the thing is, Mercedes Martinez is a veteran in the wrestling world. So so that's the reason why they granted her, like, you know what?
Yeah.
You're an OG. She's been in NXT for a short amount of time. But she's been in professional wrestling for a long time.
Yeah.
I knew about Mercedes Martinez before she signed with NXT. I thought that was going to be great for her. If they got nothing for her is probably for the best she can go. And
where she can
NWA
spread out a little bit.
Yeah, NWA is getting rid of that women's tournament.
Oh,
if she can, if her non-compete clause can end before that, that would be great for that tournament because that's a really good name and a really good person to have in that locker room.
Right.
And then even after that, she can probably go to AEW because they really need help building that women's division.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of people in there other than Britt Baker.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I know Britt. Well, I know the zombie chick, but she's never on Dynamite. She's like doing like Dark.
Rosa.
No, the other one, Abandon, I think her name is.
I got nothing on that one. I don't know who that is.
I think she's cool. I never get to see her.
So Mercedes Martinez, okay. Bobby Fish, I don't know how old he is, but he's
getting up
maybe
there.
Not the youngest guy in the world. Maybe they can see like a long-term future.
I guess.
The two for me will be Leon Ruff and Bronson Reed, especially. Do you think they made a huge mistake? Or who do you think was a bigger mistake letting go of?
I don't think you can. I don't know how you can let go of Bronson Reed with like what he has going for him.
He was going to be a star.
He was already the NXT North American champion at that point.
Recently,
yeah. I think he actually lost it to one of the guys from Hit Row or whatever they call it.
Hit Row Records.
With Top Dollar.
Not a fan.
You're not a fan of Top Dollar?
I'm not a fan of Hit Row Records, but we won't talk about
that. Yeah, that's maybe episode 2.
Yeah, we gotta have an episode where I can just get some stuff off my chest about the current status of.
Bronson Reed, wherever you go, man, I got your back.
I think he's going to be a star. I really do.
He was like Keith Lee, where he was big but agile, which was he was so cool.
A big build, big guy strength, small guy
agility, which was like it's hard to find those guys.
And those people are.
But they were like they all coming from NXT, which is funny. Like all the people from NXT who are big are also really like flexible.
That is becoming like the new thing, and people really like that. And people are drawn to it.
Even Otis was like that.
If you have a guy like that, you gotta keep him.
Yep.
And they let him go.
Hey.
All right.
Hey, listen. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. It's gonna be gone. You ready for Roman?
Brock Lesnar's gonna fight.
I'm sorry. Yeah, he's gonna fight Bobby Lashley.
The Rock is gonna fight Roman Reigns. Explain.
Oh man, I can't wait for Roman Reigns to immediately lose all of his power against John Cena and The Rock. One of them's gotta beat him, right? There's no way they're gonna let.
He's not gonna lose to John Cena because John Cena's gotta make more movies.
Oh yeah, he's gotta make the Peacemaker show.
The Peacemaker show, and now so Rock. I guess he can. I don't even see how he can lose to The Rock either. Rock got movies too.
Hey, The Rock is the Brahma Bull, the most electrifying man of all of entertainment, and he's already in the bloodline. If there's anyone who beats someone from the bloodline, someone in the bloodline.
Not in the bloodline. Why does WWE trying to like?
No, he's in there. Shut up.
They're not related.
No, he's in there. Let it rock.
Oh, let it. All right. And with that, we're out.
Hey, don't forget Goldberg.
Over under 5 minutes. Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam. How long is that match going to be? 5 minutes over under. I'm taking the under.
Under.
Yeah.
I think here's what's going to happen. Goldberg's going to hit 2 spears, and he might try the jackknife.
Yeah.
And then Bobby Lashley is going to just be like, nah, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep, that's the entire match.
And then yep. Keith Lee. Sorry, Keith Lee.
Why did Keith Lee's like, why did y'all bring me back?
Hey, look. Hey, someone's got to make Karrion Kross look good.
Oh, God. Oh,
wait, God. But not Jeff Hardy.
NXT was making Karrion Kross look good.
Hey, listen. If Jeff Hardy can beat Karrion Kross, does that mean he's technically in line for the NXT title? He's got a victory over him.
Question.
Should he not go to NXT and be like, yo, it's my turn?
He's the only person that's beat him.
Only one.
Hey, NXT champion Jeff Hardy. You heard it here first. So if you don't know that.
Hey, Samoa Joe, you gotta go back in the line behind Jeff Hardy.
Oh, So now Samoa Joe and Jeff Hardy got to try and figure out. They got to have like an eliminators match.
At least Jeff Hardy got his theme song back.
At least one good thing came out of all of this. That might actually be the only good thing.
Also, don't forget Alexa. Oh yeah, another unfortunate release. Bray Wyatt, homie. I hope whatever it is, wherever you going, man.
Raider Nation.
I'm gonna miss you.
He's a Raider fan.
He is.
Bray Wyatt is a huge Raider fan.
Oh
so
man.
Me and Bray Wyatt, we good.
I hope whatever he's doing. I hope whatever he's doing, he's happy, man.
He's at home with his kids.
I know he's with JoJo.
And JoJo. Good for him.
I can't believe those two are actually together.
Probably
I never would have picked.
Odd couple for real.
But hey, we got Alexa Bliss still. You know, that's cool.
Is it?
I'm down with it. I mean, if you keep if you keep the Bray Wyatt stuff,
I'm cool with everything but the doll.
you ain't a fan of Lily? Why you hating on Lily?
It's a doll.
Hey,
I'm supposed to be scared of a doll. I'm not even afraid of Chucky.
Hey, don't let Lily hear that. All right, man. You saw what she did to Shayna Baszler, and where's Shayna Baszler now? Exactly.
I have no idea.
I think she just broke up with Nia Jax. Hey, all right.
Let's close it.
All right.
Close it on that.
Thank you all for listening.
We're gonna close it on Lily. Is the most over person in WWE right now.
Lily for SummerSlam. Push her. She needs it.
No, she doesn't. It's a doll. All right, I'm done. I'm just getting triggered right now. See you in the next episode. And I promise we won't spend more than 2 minutes talking about Lily.
Bye bye.